Hello and welcome to Reddit on Reddit, the internet's auditory version of Reddit. I'm Nelson Allingham, joined by Michael Spooky Campbell.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Just because my guts are coming out at the moment.
Yeah.
And I've been possessed by a witch.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I'm spooky.
Yeah, you're just regular old Cambo with some upgrades,
Is
if
this
anything.
some kind of Halloween spooktacular?
It is very spectacular, Cambo, and I want everybody to get their hopes real high.
Do you think every marketing team in the world thinks they came up with spooktacular when it comes to like an October sale or something? Yes,
Yeah,
guys, what about this? Spooktacular.
Who was the first guy to come up with Spooktacular? That guy is a genius.
It was Graham Mitchell.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Who's he?
He just works in advertising.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought he would have been some sort of astrophysicist or something. Come up with something as
Guys,
good
this
as
discovery is pretty spectacular.
Everybody just dropped their pens.
Do you reckon-
Oh my God. He's done it.
Do you reckon it's who was it that's with the atom?
I think that was Adam.
Yeah, from Adam and Eve.
He's
Yeah.
very confusing.
Because you know how like that led to the invention of the atomic bomb, et cetera.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
guys, the implications of this are pretty spectacular.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I think I was a New Zealander guy. Just as a fun fact.
Yeah,
Like,
everyone just
legitimately.
misheard him.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Spectacular. That's what he said.
Oh, wow, that's really spectacular. Did you say spooktacular? No. You misheard
Spooktacular. He's coined the phrase, everybody. Oh, also he's with an atom or something like that.
Oh, shut. It's splot.
Yeah. Here's just to start off our Halloween episode, a ice cold recommendation.
Oh,
as
great.
as we often do.
We always like this.
Quite a spooky movie if you're afraid of cute fuzzy things.
Yeah.
But last night, for the first time, I watched Detective Pikachu.
Oh, right.
And I actually really liked it.
I thought you were going to say Gremlins.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yes. I saw that when I was a kid. I was very afraid of the
But it would be
gremlins.
ice cold. It's from the 80s.
It was so long ago. Again, Detective Pikachu, quite a long time ago.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
many years? Well,
like 3 maybe.
okay. I thought it was longer.
Three,
You know
but
what?
yeah,
That's red hot for me.
The pandemic does warp my sense of...
Yeah.
I think it's about 2019.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It was such a good film. I was like, oh, this is like cute little Pokemon running around and stuff. So, like, if you haven't seen it, yeah.
It's the only time
Give it a go.
someone doesn't play or watch Pokemon, I got a sense of the Pokemon world.
Yeah.
Oh, they're just out there.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Well, they're just animals.
Yeah.
But more intelligent.
Yeah.
Nobody eats them. That's the difference between Pokemon and animals. That, like, honestly, because at a certain point of intelligence, we think it's wrong to eat things.
Do you know with
Monkeys,
certainty,
dolphins.
Do you know
frowned
with
upon.
certainty that no one eats them?
I mean, somebody obviously
Yeah.
eats them, but
There's a trait.
that story is not discussed. There's some fan fiction out there.
You'd be at a market and they're like, we got all kinds of meat. We got
Yeah.
bit of lamb. Got a Snorlax if you're interested.
Oh. And the worst part is the Charizard actually cooks the other Pokemon. Kept in captivity.
Yeah.
They threaten him with being eaten if he doesn't do the job right. So,
Well, what a great ice cold recommendation. I thought you were going to go something spookier for the Halloween.
yeah, but I didn't have
Yeah.
have that. Okay, wait, let's go spooky. The orphanage? Is that what it's called?
There's one called The Off.
The orphan? No. There's a foreign film, The Orphanage, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Which is actually really good.
Yeah. Cool.
I don't know in
Ice
what
cold.
language. It was just a different one, I think.
I'll go, if we're going ice cold, I'll go with Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho.
Oh.
I don't know if anyone's ever seen that, but I don't want to spoil it. There's a scene in a shower. Let me just say, it doesn't go what you think it is.
Oh, okay. Anywho, let's get into the episode. This first one is by a Fungal Mirror. A never-ending podcast where people work in shifts to keep a conversation going forever and ever and ever. Oh, by the way, this is in the subreddit Crazy Ideas. That probably gives it a little bit better context.
Yeah.
Do you think... Oh, yeah, this one isn't spooky. It's
Yeah.
not spectacular. This one.
A fungal mirror, I think, has accidentally invented radio.
Oh, no, I feel like the difference between this is they just have different shows, different radio shows
Yeah.
that start a new conversation each time. I like the idea that
it's one.
that it's
conversation.
one. So it's not like we leave the room and other people come in. It's like you leave, and then somebody, or maybe somebody else comes in, and then there's 3 people, and we continue on whatever that conversation is, and then you leave, and then somebody else comes in, and
I like the idea of we're having a conversation, and then the little thing goes ding, and we have to punch out, and someone else punches in, and they have to pick up the thread of what we're talking about.
yeah.
Because so many times they'd come in and be like, all right, what were they talking about?
Yeah.
A New Zealand man splitting the atom and inventing the phrase spooktacular.
Yeah. And go. just pick that up and keep running with it. I reckon we're the podcast best suited to a version of this anyway.
Yeah, and we're not normally the best podcast for anything.
Yeah.
But this one thing.
Because at the very least, you like Reddit is just continually churning by. So I reckon you could have a never-ending Reddit-based podcast.
Yeah, we never will.
And it's just for an idea for somebody else to do. But then that's technically only one episode. So
that's true.
We would still be the longest
And
running,
you can't publish
have the
it
most.
because podcasts happen, like you do them and then publish.
Oh, yeah, I never thought about that part.
This is more of a live stream.
Yeah. This is just people talking to each other in a room into a microphone. Be like, it's not going anywhere.
No.
So nobody's being able to enjoy it. Although it's probably one of those things where like, this is a fun concept, and then you start listening and you're like, oh yeah, they're just having a really long conversation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's,
I get the premise.
Quantity over quality.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because at one point you'd be like, pens.
Yeah.
I was thinking about pens
Clicky?
the other day. Blue and red and black.
Click or no click?
Lid?
Twist?
I like a 4-click.
4-click. Oh, the 4 pens in one.
Do you ever use the green?
No one ever uses
No one ever
the
uses.
green.
What would you replace green with? Call me crazy. Second blue.
Oh, double blue.
Like that's the most common pen
Is it a
color.
slightly like off blue? Like it's not the same color blue?
No,
or
no,
it's the same color blue.
It's like whatever the most common color is. Chuck 2 of them in
Oh, okay.
because you'll use that the quickest. Because if you've got no blue in a 4-click pen,
Yeah.
you're like, all right, well then I'll go to black, obviously.
Yeah.
And then once that's gone, you've just got red and green. You throw that out.
Yeah. Even the red doesn't really get much use.
The
Wait,
red,
okay.
you occasionally use. I understand it.
I've got a better option.
Yeah.
Is
Actually, we're wrong. This is a pretty good
is,
concept.
is
Yeah.
yellow.
Yellow
pen as a highlighter.
Yeah, I was gonna.
So you just scribble over.
I was about to say
the things
it
that you
needs
wanna-
to have a highlight function because a actual yellow pen would be very
Yeah.
hard to see.
It is definitely just a yellow pen.
Yeah.
Don't mistake it for a highlighter because it has to fit the format. So,
What about
but I
orange?
still feel like if you had a yellow pen and you scribbled over black ink or something, the black ink would still show
it would
through.
Still show through. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. We'll mock up a prototype.
Yeah. Well, we won't. Somebody should.
Think
though.
about this, Nelson.
Yeah.
And I want you to really think about it. 5-click pen.
No. Where would you? Oh, in the center. Oh my god.
At the top.
Gambo, I thought that was so
four
stupid until I.
prongs on the side, one at the top.
It's almost dumb that it's not a 5-click pen to begin with.
Nelson, think about this. I want you to really think about it.
Okay.
6-click
Nah,
pen.
you fucking idiot. You fucking idiot. Impossible. It's impossible. We've split the atom, but we will never make a 6-click pen.
So something like that.
Yeah.
So then the next people would come in.
Okay.
They'd be like, all right, they're talking about a 6-click pen.
Yeah. Then they would go to 7, like just morons. You know?
Or
It gets old,
they'd be like,
guys.
think about this, 3-click pen. And everyone's like, that's worse than what we have.
Yeah. I've seen 2-click pens.
Yeah, they're fine.
We should get off this pen. It's grown old, and I'm over it. Maybe, Cambo, we should get into Ask Reddit. Ask Reddit. Ooh, spooky Ask Reddit.
Oh, wow.
Cambo.
We're going to ask Reddit via a Ouija board.
Oh, this might take a while. W H A T. Oh, it's a what? Anyway, this is by MSP10 Julia or Ouija?
I mean, no. But
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is in the, Halloween specific Ask Reddit thread. Anyway. What is your favorite Halloween television special or Halloween episode?
I feel like mine is like basic bitch answer.
Oh, boring.
But
Go on.
it is the Simpsons Halloween Treehouse of Horror special.
Oh, yeah, they are good.
Sometimes.
Not now, not currently. All the current Simpsons suck. Okay, what is the worst Treehouse of Horror one that you can think of then?
There's one where Homer gets cloned and it's a bunch of Homers. And he ends up having to find them and put them into a big pit or something. I remember that one being pretty bad.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. Actually, that reminds me of is it a Treehouse of Horror episode where Mr. Burns is like the ball of light person or something?
Yes. No, that's
just
not,
regular
that's
episode,
a regular
isn't it?
episode.
Yeah. Huh.
Where he is the alien in the woods.
And
Mulder and Scully come along.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
good.
That's a good episode. Just not Halloween related.
It's the alien! Get it! No, it's Mr. Burns. Oh, it's Mr. Burns. Kill it!
Okay, yeah, that's true. That's a good one. But okay, so then what's the best episode of the Simpsons Halloween special?
There's an episode that have 3 stories, one of which is the Shining parody.
Oh, yeah.
But in every one of them, Willie gets an axe in the back.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So
yeah,
there's
that's
the
funny.
Shining, and then there's the one where the teachers are eating the students.
Oh, right.
And then there's the
It's
one...
like a weird time travel-y one as well.
Yeah, where
something
Homer
like
keeps
that.
coming back to different versions of the Simpsons house.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I like that one.
In fact, you could say we just cooked Gunter and ate him, and he's in his belly right now. No, wait, scratch that.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think probably my favorite Halloween episode, one that comes to mind is actually Community.
I thought about Community.
That's a pretty good one. When they're
like a
all
zombie
inside
outbreak,
and eating
yeah.
zombie food or whatever. Don't spend insane. So,
The thing is, your favorite show is Buffy, but isn't every episode of Buffy a Halloween spooktacular?
it
in a
pretty
way?
much is.
Except for there's one that's a musical, I guess, is the least Halloween spooktacular.
No, you'd be surprised, Cameron.
Whoa.
Actually, I think they do have a Halloween episode. They joke that in some episodes where Halloween is out, that monsters can just roam around because they just look like people trick or treating. But there is a episode I think that's Halloween special in Buffy where they're there's this demon, and if you become too afraid, he feeds off your fear, and if he gets enough fear inside him, eats all that fear, then he spawns into a manifests into a physical being and will, I don't know, kill everybody or something.
Yeah. Classic Buffy stuff.
Yeah. But
he's killing everyone or something.
yeah. So at the end of the episode, what happens, Cambo? They get too afraid. This guy manifests himself.
Oh, no.
But he's, for some reason, it's one of the weirdest episodes. He's only 2 inches high. And so then Buffy just stomps on him and he dies. And then Giles is looks in the book that they were reading about this guy and he's like, oh, I should have read under this caption. It says actual size. Okay.
Okay.
That episode just kind of
really
nothing.
Undercuts the tension, doesn't
Joss
it?
was like, oh man, we got to wrap this up in 2 minutes. But yeah.
Across his desk, get a little action figure and goes, interesting.
I've got an idea. Okay, here's another one. This is by Gively Tig. What should be this year's most inappropriate Halloween costume?
I saw one on Reddit, which was the submersible.
Oh,
the one that went down to the Titanic.
Oh,
the Titanic.
yeah. Okay.
And it had like those like inflatable T-Rex costumes? Mm-hmm. Similar thing. It had the little fans in it, and it was like made it like an inflatable thing.
Right.
And then he had just an Xbox controller in his hands.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
But the first comment I saw just said, you should just disappear halfway through the party.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I think it should be Oppenheimer.
Yeah, well, see, we've got a work Christmas party coming up.
Yeah.
The theme is Iconic 2023.
Yeah.
So it needs to be something that's occurred this year.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping someone comes as Barbenheimer.
Yes.
So it's like Oppenheimer but pink, or like I don't know what it is exactly.
How do you?
Well, this is what I'm excited to see.
Okay.
How do you represent Barbenheimer?
I think you could come as Barbenheimer. Can be.
Maybe. I've already got my costume.
Oh, okay. What are you going as?
I brought the I Am Kenuff hoodie from Barbie that Ken wears.
Yeah, okay.
And the headband.
Okay. So
Because,
you could be
Nelson, it was easy.
You could be Ken Benheimer.
Ken Benheimer, yeah.
Yeah.
The cultural moment that was Ken Benheimer.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. There's got to be a lot of Barbie inappropriate Halloween costumes coming out.
Yeah. And I imagine in Australia, maybe like the Matildas were very big.
Oh, okay.
And what I'm afraid of is like people try to
that seems like worse because they're real people.
They're real people, and they're like, it was such an achievement for like representation of women's sports in mainstream media.
Yeah.
And I'm scared now that they're going to make sexy Matildas.
Yeah, that's...
I mean, the Matildas are very sexy.
Genuine,
they're all very beautiful women, but don't do a crop top or whatever.
Yeah, hey, just on that, I don't think we really spoke about the Matildas. They play in the FIFA World Cup, obviously.
Yeah.
We
Women's soccer
personally
team,
don't really care about, FIFA. Yeah, people know that.
Yeah. Well, Americans.
You reckon people? I reckon just everybody.
Yeah,
knows
probably.
FIFA. Because of the PlayStation game. Anyway, they did really well. They got to like the semifinals or something like that. And we're not into soccer. Mm-hmm. And a lot of Australia isn't really into soccer. But we all like kind of got behind this team.
Yeah.
And it was actually really genuinely fun to watch. One, because yes, we're kind of like invested in the team itself. But the other thing that makes, to me, like without having any sarcasm at all, women's soccer is way better than men's soccer. Because the amount of times that in a men's soccer, when somebody like holds their ankle because they got, nudged on the shoulder, is like embarrassing.
I don't think that does happen in soccer, Nelson.
Yeah.
I think all legitimate injuries there.
Yeah, like it's so, like especially the slow-mo replays where you're like, oh, he literally didn't hit him.
Yeah.
And he's just taken a dive because that's what the sport has become in men's soccer. In women's soccer, what was so interesting is one, that barely ever happened. And if it did, it was because there was actual contact. And like they were genuinely hurt. When somebody went down in the women's soccer, you're like, oh shit, I hope they're okay. The men's soccer, you're like, oh, whatever. Like he's just gonna milk this for a bit, walk it off, and it'll be fine. Like it's such a joke. So I highly recommend getting into women's soccer if you want to. I don't know. I'm not the boss.
Australia also generally, you're right. Like our main pastime for sport isn't soccer, but Australia will get so behind any sport that they're doing well at.
Yeah, exactly.
If we're doing well at like curling in the Winter Olympics, everyone's like, I love curling.
Yeah.
I've always loved curling.
I've always said that. Ask anyone. Yeah, that's true. Do you know what is crazy? I know you said that as a joke, but I've actually known the Australian competitors of curling.
And you've kept that to yourself all the time.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's just my humble brag. No, it's like a mother and son.
Really?
Because obviously there's not like,
not a huge
tough competition in Australia.
We could beat them.
Yeah. I mean, obviously.
Listen, it's a mother and son. I'm pretty sure we'll do all right.
We can do it. We'll pick it up. I don't even know the rules, but I can do it.
Where do I throw this? No, you don't throw it. Throw anything, Camber.
Well, I'm going to throw it. Change the game, Camber. People will be amazed. It'll be like the dodgeball thing.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway. Next Halloween question. We're going to stick on this for a bit because I don't think I have like a Today I Learned Halloween thing. So like,
fair enough. You don't need it Today I Learned every episode.
Exactly. This is an armchair analyst. They said, I'll be driving for Uber on Halloween. What's a funny costume idea that won't freak out passengers? That won't freak out passengers. I mean, I think the point is you're meant to. But they will be impressed by it. If you manage to nail a costume so hard that your customers are so freaked out that they won't get into your Uber, you've done an amazing job.
Well,
That's incredibly hard.
Here in Australia, especially maybe more country towns, you could go dressed as Ivan Milat.
Yeah.
Who is a notorious serial killer that picked people up on the side of the road and drove them out in the middle of nowhere and killed them. So that would be one where we'd be like, oh, I understand why people would be freaked out.
I mean, it would be hard to replicate. You'd have to have a name tag on. And even then, I don't know that name of that guy. I know that happened. But like, I'd need the Uber driver to explain.
I want to be clear here. I'm dressed as Ivan Milat. He is the serial killer. Here's a picture of him and me, so you can see how similar my costume is.
And you're like, oh, well, I guess you kind of got the T-shirt right, but your pants are the wrong color. Now you're just a guy wearing a shorts and pants.
Don't piss this guy off.
Oh no,
he's dressed as Ivan Milat.
Actually, on the same wavelength, I reckon you could. It would be creepy if you dressed up as Jigsaw.
Oh, yeah.
From the Saw movies.
Yeah.
Don't you reckon that'd be cool if you have that like mask on? Because that would be scary getting in that car. It's like, ugh.
What if the opposite way, you dress as something to freak out your Uber driver, but you go so specific that you have to explain it again, and you go dressed as Tom Cruise from the movie Collateral, and they're like, what do you mean? It's like, because he takes the taxi driver hostage.
Yeah.
Remember the Collateral? They're like, no.
Okay. So then you watch the movie with in the car.
And the guy's like, that's a pretty good movie. Yeah, it's often forgotten, but it's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so late for my party. But yeah, it'd be good because then you just stop at various places and kill people.
Think if you would Jigsaw, would you have the little tricycle in the front seat of the car with you?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, wait, isn't it sometimes like there was like a pig's head thing? It was also when you get abducted, so maybe you could just do that.
Do that, yeah. Just wear a pig's head as you drive.
Yeah. And you have little, I think another thing is the bottles of water they give you, just put not drugged on them.
Oh, that's good.
Was that?
That's good. Would you, when they go to exit the car, would you have child lock on? And then like it triggers a thing when they go to open the door and it doesn't lock. It goes, I'd like to play a game.
Yeah.
If you want to get out of this cab.
I would be terrified if I was that Uber driver. I'd then get stabbed. Yeah. Because they're like, oh
no. But the real answer is just like a pirate or something.
Yeah, just a pirate. If you don't want to freak out customer, there's just like so many you can do. It's just boring and nothing. So go as a Matilda.
Sexy Matilda.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's do one more. This is by Tig Lion. Halloween is, of course, known as the sexiest of holidays / observances. If you were to nominate a second holiday to be known for sexiness, which would it be, and how would you make it sexy?
I feel like the obvious answer, so let's not go with it, is Christmas.
Is it the... It's the worst answer.
Based purely on the sexy Santa outfits from Mean Girls. I feel like people try and replicate those.
Okay. Because I was going to say, if there's one holiday you want to avoid, it's the one where all your family gets together.
You know,
I don't want to see sexy Nana Santa.
I'm talking about like hookups at Christmas parties. I'm talking about photographing bums.
Yeah, family get-togethers, Canberra. Gross.
But I'm saying let's take a different holiday and make it sexy. How do we make Easter sexy?
I feel like there's some sexy Easter bunny costumes out there.
Also,
I mean, Playboy bunnies. People, that's like, that writes itself.
Jesus up on the cross, shirt off.
Oh,
You seen that, Bod?
revealed. I reckon that in reality, he wouldn't have even had the loincloth on.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. So do we get a bunch of ripped Jesuses walking around on Easter?
Yeah. That'd be a really funny one to replicate because people are like, oh, I don't know.
I don't know about this.
I'm not even religious, but like this feels wrong. Yeah, okay. It's that. Or what else we got? That's basically...
What about Shrove Tuesday?
Oh, yeah. What, is that why we eat pancakes?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind eating my pancakes in a sexy atmosphere. I think.
Here being a colonized nation as we are, the Queen's birthday, or I guess the King's birthday now.
Yeah,
Do you reckon you
okay.
can make that sexy?
I mean, the king is already a sexy man. Look at those ears, mate. These are some sexy ears. Yeah, people would be dressing up as elephants, I guess, if there was a dress up sort of thing. I mean, no offense to our king.
No offense, they're pieces of shit.
Yeah, but like big ears.
Yeah. Well, like an elephant.
Yeah. We should start doing that. That should be a thing on the king's birthday. We go into the city. Everybody dresses up as elephants. I think that would be hilarious.
And then we just send him one photo. He's like, oh man. You got a message from Australia. Oh, I know what this is going to be.
Yeah. I'd like that he's like, oh, not Australia too.
Yeah.
India already does this.
Yeah. We just get every country in the Commonwealth to be like, oh yeah, India sent you one, Australia sent you one. Oh god, we got a message from Canada. I know what this is going to be. If I'm being honest with you, I have a pretty good idea what this is going to be.
Anywho, all right, let's move on to Today I Advised. So now it's time for Today I Learned. What's the Today I Learned. And also sometimes advice. How's this for a spooky story, Cambo? Dim the lights, everyone. This is by Throwaway 167172. My friend has her son calling me Dad. My best friend since I was 10 has always been sweet to me. She had a son at 14 and she got kicked out. None of her family would take her, so I convinced our parents to let her move in. We could afford it. She has lived with us for 2 years, and I was doing college preparations. She shares a room with me in a different bed. When I told her about colleagues and stuff, she said, what about...
I think it's colleges.
Oh, yeah.
Is it? No, actually...
No, it's meant to be.
Yeah.
Colleges and stuff. She said, what about her son? I asked, what about him? And she, I think I put the wrong emphasis on that. Like, what about him? And she said, you're basically his daddy. I'm so confused. He has been calling me Dada, but I thought it was something he'd just done with age. Sentence.
This is a very poorly constructed post.
Come to find out, she tells him I'm his daddy. I'm not his dad. I view his mum as a sister. This is so confusing. Please help.
Now, I'm only getting one person's perspective from this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the word daddy.
Yeah.
Do you think this person is doing it kind of like in jest, like a sugar daddy kind of thing, as a joke, and they're just misrepresenting it?
No, I reckon this is like, I reckon people use daddy more liberally than you may be like pigeon-holing here. I reckon that, I could imagine that because their relationship obviously seems pretty close.
Yeah.
And she obviously wants a father figure for her son. And so I think she's like, I'm just going to list my best friend or whatever. I'm just going to say that he's the dad.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a weird situation.
It is a weird situation. Can I say the most unnecessary part of this whole post?
Yeah.
I convinced our parents to let her move in. We could afford it.
Yeah.
That information is not like we assume you can afford it if you're doing it.
If you couldn't have afforded it, then it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
That's you.
And it's just in like a little brackets.
Yeah.
Just be like, just so you know.
Humble brag.
We can afford it.
We can afford to take on an extra person in the house. Here's what I think this person should do. straight away, instantly solving the problem. Legally change your name to Dada. So when the kid grows up and the kid's like, oh, no, you're my dad, right? Dada, I remember calling you dad. And you're like, no. Here's my naming certificate. I am legally called Dada. Your mother was just confused, or you got confused because of this silly mistake. But no, I'm not your father. I am Dada, though.
Yeah. But please do not get confused about this.
Yeah. Middle name Daddy.
Your first
Dada
word-
Daddy.
Your first words were Dada.
Yeah.
But I don't know what you were actually, whether you were saying it as father or as my name. So please clarify.
Yeah. I think, what do you reckon about someone just thrusting their kid on you?
Negatively. I feel negatively about that.
Depends how old, I reckon.
Younger better, older better.
Older better.
Because then you can just kind of like,
Yeah,
you
if
have
they're
less
like
time.
17.
Yeah. You're like, oh, this is like 2 years.
Yeah. Like, just brush your teeth and stuff. You know? Yeah. They understand.
Don't be drinking, but like, you can drink a little bit. It's
But
okay.
like, it's fine. Because I used to when I was your age. Yeah, it feels like, actually, no, maybe it feels like a lot of responsibility. Like at any point.
The thing
anybody
is,
thrust their kids on you.
I feel like if you had a 17-year-old kid thrusted upon you, and you got into one of those cliche fights where the kid's like, well, I'm just going to move out of home.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the connection to them. You're like, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you do you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stop you.
That'd be the best, like, what they think is reverse psychology. Though.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be like, oh, no, please stay.
No.
Yeah. I would love the shit out of the kids. Because that's the reverse psychology. They'll feel like they'll be smothered and then they'll want to leave.
I support you totally.
Yeah.
Like, what is your game?
You want money for anything? I'll give it to you. Anything is yours.
Tell me about your dumb friends. I'm really interested.
All right, Kimbo, we should move on again and get into shower thoughts.
Shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts, shower thoughts.
This shower thought is by Drill Pin. When your ball's deep in a pool, you're actually not very deep in the pool. But think about this. When your nip's deep in a pool, pretty deep in the pool. But nips deep in sex, you're doing something wrong.
But, I mean, if we're talking about the totality of a human body, if your ball's deep in anything, you're not actually that deep.
Yeah, you're not really that deep, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that balls deep should mean you've just, it's like people say dipping a toe.
You've grazed the surface.
Yeah. People say, well, that's dipping a toe.
Yeah.
Dip a toe in the water.
Like,
I would say, look,
balls deep in the
yeah.
water. Just balls deep in the water.
Yeah, they're like, did you get really into it? I mean, I went balls deep, but I didn't do too much.
Yeah, that's accurate. All right, everybody start using that now. That's the phrase that we're going to...
But that being said, balls deep in a pool, like vertically, you're like about halfway.
Yeah.
Horizontally, though, you're barely in it.
Yeah.
So if you go horizontal over the water,
Okay.
lowering down.
Yeah, okay. I suppose it depends how low your balls hang. If you're on your back.
I would
floating on
say
your back.
gravity would pull them down.
Yeah. Yeah, so then you're mainly in the water, is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying you're barely in the water because you're horizontally face down and they're hanging below you.
Okay, but
So
if
that
it's
would be
cold,
the first thing to hit the water. Oh, but they shrink.
then that's like the last
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, that's true. Go up inside you.
Yeah. Anyway, we should move on from that one. This is by TM Beatles 9091. Your collection will just end up being a burden to whoever has to deal with your stuff after you die.
Yeah.
What do you reckon, like, the worst collection to have from somebody? Like, when they die, what's the worst thing to take over? Because, like, for example, my, like, if people collect Pokemon cards, I'm like, yeah, doesn't take up that much room. Also, there might be some value in there. I'll sell it at the drop of a hat, can't it?
I think what it is, it needs to be, if it's just complete junk, you throw it out.
Yeah.
If it's a car or something, you sell.
Yeah.
Something that you know has value but is annoying to sell.
Yeah, actually.
So Pokemon cards might be a good example, right? It's they're maybe a little bit easier to sell, but something where you're like,
I reckon that'd be fun to sell.
I know there's a market for this,
Yeah.
but it means I need to go and research to find out how to sell this.
Yeah, I know a girl actually that I don't know if she still does. Like an old friend of my sister, she used to collect Barbies. That would be annoying to sell for sure, because for one, they take up way too much room. Some are in like boxes and stuff still, and then yeah, like you said, like how do you sell that? Do you sell it individually? Do you try to sell it one like big thing? Getting it all appraised is difficult. I know like Pokemon cards, you can be like, what? How much is this Pokemon card? And it's like, oh yeah, one was sold recently for this. But like Barbies, I feel like it's all speculative of like, a collector might pay this much for this one.
I actually think in that same vein, comic books.
Oh, right.
There are some comic books that are really valuable.
Yeah.
Like, this is actually, the Hulk issue 87 is actually the first time Wolverine is introduced. So that one is like $500,000. The one before it is valueless.
Yeah,
obviously valueless. You don't want it, but the one I'm like also valueless. Like,
yeah.
There's specific issues.
Yeah.
And if they had a collection of like 1,000 comic books,
You're like, I'm not going through this.
yeah, you need to go through and look up every single one. Like, is this valuable? No.
I mean, that
Is
would
this
have
valuable?
to be
Maybe
mint
20
condition
bucks.
anyway, wouldn't it? Because like,
No, not even necessarily. Even the crappy ones, you would get probably a few thousand for.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
But my point is, like, you would think, all the number one issues maybe are valuable. And that's true for, like, Superman or whatever. But that's not necessarily true. Like, famously, Detective Comics 27 is Batman. First Batman.
Yeah.
But that's the 27th issue of a pretty valueless series.
Is that his origin? Does that have his origin story in it?
I think his origin came a couple later.
Yeah,
It's just the first time he was ever in a comic.
Okay, I have another random question then.
Yeah.
What was the first... Like, Spider-Man was just Spider-Man, right? Was it
that was
anything
Amazing
else?
Fantasy number 15.
Oh, okay.
And then there is
a
a Spider-Man issue 1, but it is less valuable than Amazing Fantasy 15.
Yeah, because it's not the first time
Exactly.
he was...
It's the first Spider-Man comic by himself, because comics were always just collections of stories.
Yeah.
If superhero got popular enough, they would spin them off into their own thing.
Yeah. I just think it's funny because the reason why I asked is because I was thinking about what's his name? Mr. Marvel Man. Stan Lee.
Yeah.
And I remember him talking about being pitched Spider-Man. And it was like, you had like, there was these different like Flea Man and Bee Man or whatever, and none of them really stuck. But then he's Spider-Man. He's like, oh yeah, like that sounds cool. But it's funny to think of probably what the reality of that was, where they're like, oh, we like churn through superheroes and throw them in these comic books. Yeah. And like Spider-Man just stuck. Yeah. It's not that it was like special. They probably did do Flea Man and Bee Man. It's just that they actually didn't stick as much.
Yeah.
Much less, I don't know, interesting. Like,
if you look at Batman, for example, Batman is just, of the time that came out, every superhero like the Phantom or whatever was always just some rich guy that went out with a gun and he solved crime in his crime-ridden city.
Yeah.
And Batman honestly was just that.
Yeah.
And Batman, quite honestly, was just a rip-off of Zorro.
Yeah.
Like Zorro had the Zorro symbol, he has the Bat symbol. So Zorro has a cave under his mansion, he has a cave under his mansion.
Yeah.
So it was just Zorro done differently, like as a bat.
Yeah.
And all of the stuff that people know about Batman came way later.
Yeah.
So you're right. It just like that one just stuck for some reason.
Yeah. It's funny. Do you know what's funny is I've been playing Spider-Man 2 on PlayStation. Great game. Love the Spider-Man games. They're so good. What I find is hilarious is how like nonchalantly intelligent like Peter Parker and Miles is as well. Because you're like, Peter's like, maybe I can splice some genes from this plant and put it into this, or from this fish and put it into this plant, and then it'll be more hardy. And you're like, how? What? He's just doing that?
I never would have thought of that.
And then, yeah, exactly. Like, and then he uses some computer, and it's a puzzle game, and you just have to, like, destroy a few beads or something. And you're like, in this world, in this universe, being intelligent is actually, like, at such a low level because everything in that universe just works. You just think about it, and it's like, oh, yeah, this will probably work. And, like, Genki just like, oh, I'm tracking something in outer space.
Yeah.
Like, you're a teenager. You haven't got the experience or the manpower to accomplish these things. I've decided that universe is just like, everything's really easy. Like, there's actually nothing behind it. There's no substance behind the science. You just need to think about it, then it happens, basically. Yeah. But anyway, that's my Spider-Man rant. All right, Kimbo, let's move on into podnapping.
Oh my God, I'm being podnapped.
Podnapping.
This is Podnapping, where we nap a pod. We take a topic of conversation or a segment from another thing, and we do it ourselves. This week, my week, and to keep on the spooky theme.
I like that saying. This week, my week.
This week, my week. I'm keeping up with the spooky theme.
Yep.
And we're going to do celebrity hits.
Okay.
Whoa, spooky. Spooky celebrity hits.
Okay.
So not necessarily celebrities as such, I guess, like characters from Halloween things.
Okay.
Yeah, just you need to now come up with a character for me, and
Okay.
I'll come up with a character for you.
Yep.
And then we guess I play celebrity hits when I was like,
So we're talking about
nine.
like a horror movie character?
Yeah, something like that.
Yep. All right. Hope we don't have the same one.
Yeah, that would be awkward. And then, so if you ask a question, so it's only yes/no questions, I think. And if you get a yes, then you get another question. And if you guess wrong, you're a boob.
Oh.
Yeah, so think about that. All right. Yeah, I've got one for you. So you go first. Ask the question first.
Am I a male?
Yes.
Am I from a film?
Yes.
Am I
get this? This is gonna be so annoying.
a killer?
No. Yes, maybe. I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
But you might get angry at that later on or something. Okay.
That was Jason Voorhees. Nothing. He's a massive killer.
All right. I will start with similar questions. Am I in a film?
Yes.
Have I been in recent films?
Yes.
Do I wear like a costume?
Yes.
Okay. Do I use sharp objects to kill people?
Yes.
Am I... I don't want to be a boob. Do I wear a hockey mask thing?
A hockey mask?
Yes.
No.
Oh, is it a different mask? It's not a hockey mask,
Well,
is it?
I'm sorry, but the answer was no. Therefore, your question
Oh,
stopped.
boy, it's so here.
Okay, I really got to get this down. Okay, not a killer. Have I appeared in a movie in the last 10 years?
No.
Okay.
Am I Jason?
No.
Oh. He's the hockey mask,
he does
not
wear a
hockey
hockey
mask guy, is it? Oh, okay. Oh, shit, my boob. Okay.
Am I human?
No.
Was...
Wait. That's a nobody.
oh, yeah, that's it.
Okay. So I'm a person in films kind of recently that uses sharp objects to kill my victims.
Yep.
And I'm not Jason.
No.
Do I haunt people?
Haunt people?
It's maybe a vague term.
Yeah, I mean, in a sense.
I want to I want to say, let me change that. Do I try to instill fear into my victims?
Look, I'll say yes.
Okay.
But I actually don't think this person is like, oh, I'm going to spook him out. I think.
Oh,
it's
okay. Just kind of happens.
But I think it just happens.
Man, I'm so bad with the characters' names now. I've thought this is the flaw in my plan.
You shouldn't have picked this Podnapping.
Yeah, this is bad. I'm gonna say Freddy Krueger.
No.
Ah, damn it! I've just gone for the obvious ones.
I would say this person's pretty obvious.
Okay.
Was the movie I'm in released in, I don't know if you know this, in the 70s?
I'm gonna guess, yeah.
Am I generally on the land?
Yes.
Okay. I had a theory, but I was just trying to work it out.
Okay.
I thought it could have been the shark from Jaws.
Oh, right. Is that horror film? Oh, yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah.
Thriller. Yeah, okay.
And when he said he's not really a killer, but I'd say the shark fits that.
Okay. Anyway, I've said yes, so you can keep going. Because you said, is he mainly on land?
Yeah, good.
You were just bummed because you were like, oh, I'm not Jaws.
yeah. For me, I thought I was wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, he's mainly on the land now. That doesn't really narrow the other options
Yeah.
down that much. Maybe from the 70s. I wonder whether we are maybe thinking of a similar person. Does this person wear a costume?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Jeez, I thought we would have got this by now, honestly. Oh, man. Wow, okay. Okay. Maybe this is dumb to ask. Do I actually have a name?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that was yes. Because, again, I'm thinking maybe I don't.
Yeah.
And then that ruins things for me. Okay. Maybe I need to narrow this down about my killing method.
Yep.
I said sharp things before to cover more bases, but that's made it harder. So, knives.
Yes.
Okay. Who else uses knives to kill people? Okay, have I been in am I teenage horror movies?
Yes.
I feel like I should get it now. It's gonna come to me any second now. I said I was male, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And you said it was released recently.
One has been.
Yeah, okay. I did figure it was going to be a franchise sort of thing. Oh my God, what's been a franchise movie?
I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
This franchise has been rebooted.
Oh. So it wasn't...
It didn't start recently, but
Yeah.
there has been one recently.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, is it like Halloween? Am I in the movie Halloween?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know the girl's name. The bad guy in that.
He shares a name with a famous comedian from the 90s.
Oh, Jerry Seinfeld.
Yes. His name is Michael
Mike
Myers.
Myers. Oh, damn it. I didn't know that. Yeah. Thank you for helping me because that could have gone on forever.
I saw that flag of this could be going for a while.
Me just saying things about the movie Halloween consistently until, yes, Mike Myers. Okay, good. Do you want to have a go, Cambo?
There's some hammering going on outside. I apologize for any noise it's bleeding through.
Yeah, it's fine. It's spooky hammering.
Yeah. And very loud.
They're nailing
The
a
loudness
coffin
is the
shut.
spooky bit. Was the film that I appear in a franchise?
No, I don't think not specific. No, I would say no.
Okay. Okay.
I've tried to go a bit trickier on you.
Yeah.
So when you said like all like 70s, I would say like 70s or like younger. Probably younger now that I think about it.
Yeah. Am I in color or black and white?
You're black and white.
Yeah, it's Psycho.
No.
No. Damn. Good. Well, he's definitely a killer.
Yeah. Oh, yes, that's true.
So black and white.
Yeah.
Do I live in a lagoon?
No.
Okay.
But you'll get there eventually.
Yeah,
There aren't that
okay.
many black and white ones.
Am I a monster?
You are.
Was I created by a doctor?
Yes, you are.
Do people often think my name is the name of the doctor?
Yes, they
Do
do.
people like to say, actually, when you think about it, this person is actually this person's monster?
Yes.
Am I Dracula?
You are. Yes or no?
Oh, yeah, no, he's not a murderer.
Yeah, not a murderer. I was actually trying to think because I think you said killer.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I think
has
technically
he
accidentally.
killed? Does
I
he
think-
kill?
I
Yeah,
think
like accidentally.
he kills,
Yeah. So, but that's
But we've
why-
all accidentally killed someone.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and I'm not a killer as such. You know?
Despite what the law says.
Yeah.
With their warrant for my arrest.
That's why I had to skirt them because I knew they wouldn't understand. Anyways, that it? I actually thought we'd do a few, but that actually took a bit longer than I thought.
This episode's been going pretty long.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now we can get to the.
I think we should save
let's
the
just
A-Mac.
end. Okay. If you would like to write into us, though, you can do so. Reddit podcast, READIT podcast @gmail.com. You can also reach us at. Oh, I almost did it.
Spooky.
At our subreddit.
Yep.
Or
X.
What else did I say? Or X. Or X.
Or a Discord.
Oh, yeah, Discord. That's the other one.
Yeah.
Hey, we'd appreciate it if you rate and review the show.
Spookiest review you can.
And,
5
and
stars.
write in. Oh, yeah, here's the crazy thing. This is what I noticed about our podcast numbers. We get like vague numbers.
Yeah.
Some of our episodes have actually been growing in numbers, but we're getting less emails.
And in length of runtime.
So-
We don't know why that's happening.
That's annoying. So, hey, write in.
Yeah.
And,
Write in.
Write in if you haven't before.
Write in, rate the show, review the show. Have a spooky time.
Have a spooky time. Thanks for reading, and we will spook you later.
Oh!